So around a few months ago, I took a look at Holocure Save the Fans out of complete boredom, and, wow. I have no idea why you people decided to watch this, but thank you to everyone who left a like and a comment. Seriously, it means a lot to me. Anyways, I took a look at Holocure and came to the conclusion that yes, it deserves all the praise it gets. From the simplistic but addicting gameplay, fluid and stylized visuals, amazing music, and the abundance of references that the most hardcore of Hololive fans will appreciate, I still stand by my statement of Holocure being the perfect fan game. I also mentioned that the game was still receiving updates, and well, what do you know, not even a few days before my review was published, the Holocure team put out a teaser of what was to come in 0.6, featuring a new costume for Mume and a video of Fubuki doing some fishing. In the coming weeks and months, some screenshots featuring the Indonesian girls would be released, giving us a sneak preview of their movesets, and of this mysterious new mode. It wasn't long before we finally got a trailer for 0.6. The Indonesian girls finally got footage to show what they were all about, some new items and a stage were shown off as well, and the new mode was revealed to be called Hollow House, a mode where you could build your own home, hire fans to help out with work, do some farm work, and of course, the most important part, fishing. And this was all set to release on August 16th. Woohoo! There was also the announcement that the game was coming to Steam, which was done in the most mean way possible. I had some war flashbacks when I saw this serious looking letter on a white background. Don't ever play with my heart like this again. Anywho, August 16th has come around, and with it, 0.6 finally dropped, adding in the Indonesian girls, the Hollow House mode, and a few balance changes. Before we get into the big nitty gritty, I want to address a few changes. Now, I'm not going to go over every single little balance change, but let's just say that a few sorely needed buffs were given, and a few painful nerfs also came with it. Okay, in the long run, these nerfs aren't that big of a deal. I mean, the collab items are still really fucking strong, but now they aren't just an insta-win item as they were in the past. The biggest winner here is Mume, though, who got a small overhaul to her kit. Her history skill has been removed and combined with civilization, and in turn, she gained a new skill called Bloodthirsty, which gives her an attack boost and heals her slightly based on how many enemies she's defeated, and her special, True Horror, now gives her a small haste buff when used. A bunch of other smaller changes were made, including the menus getting a slight redesign. You can now do multi-pulls in the gacha shop, making unlocking and ranking up characters a lot easier. A few new costumes were added, a few new items, 2 more new stages, and the fandom ranking system has been changed a little bit. Oh, I guess I didn't talk about that in the last video, did I? To give a quick overview, depending on your character's rank and how many stages you've completed, your fandom ranking changes from fan to Oshi to Gachikoi. And depending on your character's fandom rank, they can start a stage with either a few of their skills or all of their skills, and they gain a small buff to certain stats. Now thankfully in the change to 0.6, you don't need to grind back anyone you already had at Gachikoi rank. And as you can clearly see, the only character I have at Gachikoi is Mio, because, once again, you tell me why. Now with all the small stuff out of the way, we can finally get to the main event, which I have been waiting for oh so long. At long last, the Indonesian generations have finally been added, consisting of Muna, Risu, Iofi, Ali, Rene, Anya, Kobo, Kaela, and Zeta. Out of the 9 new characters that were added, the ones I personally had the most fun with were Muna, Risu, Anya, and Kaela. Now, that's not to say that I didn't have fun with anyone else. Oh no, it's just that these 4 were the ones that I personally clicked with the most. Kicking things off with Muna, she may begin slow, but when she gains access to her skills, she becomes a force of nature that can't even be touched. Her skill Moon Song, aside from being a reference to her great singing voice, seriously go listen to her karaoke streams, is a terrifying projectile. It may move slowly, but it deals damage over time, and it draws in enemies. Launch this near a full crowd with your fully upgraded weapon and just watch the experience pile up. There's also Lunar Construction, which has enemies drop lunar blocks. When you collect 5 of these, a small lunar rabbit spawns and runs full force towards enemies, causing a small explosion. In addition, you gain some special meter, allowing easier access to her special Moon Goddess. Moving on to Risu, her kit is a bit more interesting, revolving around nuts. God, there's no way around this, is there? Risu's skill, D's, inflicts what's called internal damage, which is basically just extra damage. I'm really doing this, aren't I? Her next skill, Non-Stop Nut, splits up the nuts she throws into more nuts. And finally, there's her third skill, DLC, which spawns extra Risu copies whenever you collect holo coins. You want to get extra nutty, get the greed stamp, upgrade it to level 3, and you basically turn the game into a non-stop nut party. This girl knows exactly what she's done. Fucking goddamn. Now that I've recovered from that mental damage, let's talk about Anya for a bit. Aside from being as cute as a button, Anya is surprisingly strong. Her weapon is great when fully upgraded, but like all characters in Holocure, her real strength comes from her skills. The first of these skills is Living Weapon, which for whenever she defeats an enemy, she gains a point of sharpness. When this maxes out at 50, she gains an insane attack boost and a small aura that damages enemies when they get too close to her. Anya's other skill that can help her out is Slumber. Go still for a few seconds and Anya goes to sleep. This both heavily slows down the enemies and it decreases the damage dealt to Anya, but don't rely on this too much though, since you'll still die if you're overrun by enemies, so only use it when absolutely necessary. And I know this is a minor thing, but I absolutely love Anya's special. It's a little goofy looking, but that's what makes me love it in the end. The last of the Indonesian girls I want to talk about is Kayla, and I'm just gonna cut right to the chase. She might be one of the best fucking characters in the game. Okay, so get this, not only does she have a permanent aura that damages enemies that get too close to her, not only can she beat up enemies to get aura that increases her damage output, but she can also drop anvils on top of enemies. This is comedic at first, and then you realize that sometimes the anvils can turn into upgrade anvils, allowing you to quickly upgrade your weapons and items to their maximum potential, and in turn, you can create collab items much easier. Yeah, Kayla breaks the difficulty of the game in two, and I fully expect a nerf to come her way in the coming future. She must be very, very proud of herself right now. And now, it's finally time for the big new attraction, Hollow House. I'll be honest, I was not expecting much from this mode since, I'll be upfront, I don't care at all for farming simulators. But now that I've spent a little time on this mode, I love it a lot. It's oddly relaxing in a way. In this mode, you can customize your own house using the hollow coins you earn from the main mode to buy furniture that you can then place inside of your house. I'm about as creative as a piece of paper, so I don't have much to show off except for this basic bitch home that I spent a total of 10 minutes making. There's also a lot of fishing, and I mean a lot of fishing. Just sit on the side of the lake, cast your line, play a little mini game, and watch the fishies roll in. You can then take these fish to Bloop's shop in exchange for sand, which can then be used to buy much better rods, which in turn lets you capture rarer fish. Next up is the forced workplace that you can hire fans for to earn more hollow coins. Side note, the dev team sent out a form asking for names for these NPCs, so if you filled out this form and you see your name, congratulations, get in there and earn me some extra hollow coins or it's off to the usual room with you. And if you see my name on a Miofa, let me know. I should mention that the fans can only work for so long before they become exhausted, and when they do, you'll have to feed them various amounts of food. These can range from the fish you catch to the crops you grow on the farm. To grow these crops, simply buy some soil and the seeds you want to grow, plant them and wait, and voila, you'll have some food to feed your workers. You can also take the fish and food you've grown on the farm to the cooking pot to use as ingredients to cook some meals, which you can then use in the main mode. You'll also find other talents regularly visiting your home, and they can be a big help, whether that be catching extra fish for you or helping out on your farm. Take advantage of these visitors to help out with the grind here, and that's everything I have to go over in a Hollow House. Obviously, there's much more that I can't get into simply because I've only scratched the surface of this time sink, and I will inevitably spend many more hours here, and I'll still have the most broke-ass looking home. With that, I've basically gone over the most important changes and additions made to 0.6, and oh boy, let me tell you, I love it all. Everything was knocked out of the park once again with the references, gameplay changes, and just how fun most of the Indonesian girls are. And of course, the new remixes of Identity Voices and Myth or Treat are amazing. Once again, y'all should check out the people who made this game happen. And more than ever, I highly recommend this game to Hololive fans, especially those of the Indonesian branch. The game is still free, and now it's on Steam, so now more than ever, there's no excuse to not have already checked out this game. I give heavy thanks to KU and everyone else who made this game happen, and especially to both the fans and the talents who keep the spirit alive. Keep taking Holocure to even further heights, and I look forward to the day where we can have everyone on that title screen, no matter how far away that is from now. And with that, I'm finished once again. Have yourselves a fantastic day, night, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are, and I hope you all have fun out there. And I hope to see you all next time. Peace out.